What's up, guys?
Hey, friends.
Greetings, fellas.
We have an offer for you.
We'd like to make a small deal. We have an interesting proposition.
Get the new shiny Dota 2 ticket.
Buy the new Starladder ticket.
Support us with ticket purchases.
And we promise to show you our best.
We'll show you excellent and magnificent Dota.
We will make sure you see some amazing games.
Take the first step into the next season.
We are counting on you.
Help us make Starladder 11 awesome.
We will see you again sooner than you think.
Thank you for your support.
And your contribution will make us a little bit happier. Thank you.
Starladder falls! Late winner's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Burning. Alone with a double kill. Dropping fast. Mana points there. He's still alive! Wait, oh, second slide. He's got one side. He's got a second. He's taking it. Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Starladder Season 11, America. Tiebreakers here going into the playoffs. We've got no camera shot today. I'm looking at the camera like it's doing something. We've been invaded by animals in the studio, and we cannot use the camera because of such. I'm Sayori. This is Coddle Guy.
Yep, we're here. We're real.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, man, Starladder Season 11, we have made it to the back end of the America group stages, but we're in a bit of a pickle here. We got a tiebreaker. All right, between four teams, all matched at record 3 and 4. So things get a bit hairy at that point when it becomes more than 3. I don't want to take too long because the draft is already flying through. But essentially, the teams try to come out to a resolution of what's best according to VLOT, and has been stated already in their rulebook of code 1.4.4.2. Personal meetings between the teams can't determine the positions in this kind of situation. Pretty much too long didn't read. The admin gets to decide. Vlad put out the idea of like kind of a small double elimination tournament almost between these tiebreaker teams, because in the head-to-heads, 2 teams are at 2 and 1, while 2 teams are at 1 and 2. So the 2 teams that are in 2 and 1 here, Leviathan and Root Gaming, have the advantage of being in the winners bracket. The winner of this matchup, it's a best of 3, will move on into the playoffs. Then we're going to be seeing Wheel Gaming taking on Complexity. Look at that. And they will be coming through the loser side. The winner of that matchup will play the loser of this matchup, and then that winner will move on to the playoffs. And we will have the 2 remaining playoff spots that are going to be going alongside E-Hug, who are undefeated through the group stage run, taking on... oh, God, I was doing so good at this point. But Sneaky Nick's Assassins, who are a 6-1 record.
That's true.
So today we'll find out what teams on the Americas will be in the playoffs.
All right. Good summary there, Coddle Guy. Thank you for getting us all up to date on what's going on here. Our triple digits of viewers, thank you very much for that.
The early birds, they get the best information.
Oh, yeah, getting the worm. So, all right, we were talking to our Dota TV listeners here, and we were talking about that first pick Pudge. It was the first topic of discussion whenever Team Leviathan is in the mix. And, well, they didn't quite first pick him, but they grabbed him in that first couplet. And Root Gaming, I'm surprised to see Pudge not banned out, especially after that buff he just got.
The very questionable ban, at least this is in my own opinion entirely, was getting rid of the Faceless Void. Yeah, absolute respect, of course, to Brew. Brew did receive some nerfs in this recent patch, taking his clap down a little bit, as well as his base armor. So he can't be as meaty and as fat. He's still going to be a very viable hero, and in the hands of someone like Shibby, he could be ridiculous. So he definitely warrants the ban, but not banning the Pudge. Leviathan was a team that already got respect bans on this Pudge, but now this Pudge has the 1,000 range hook at level 1. So now you're talking, and, well, they're on Dire's side, so I'm interested to see how Jenkins, who I would most imagine playing this Pudge, and he has played it as a support, in past history has done the hook to pull to the mid lane and use that to his advantage to farm up in the jungle. With 1,000 range to work with now at level 1, the sky's the limit for this man, and he was so percolated and so excited about this patch, and I'm sure he's so excited now getting the Pudge here.
Yep, I follow Jenkins on Twitter. See, he still wants you to tweet at him. Oh, you can't see it on the overlay, but at Jenkins Dota, he's lonely.
Yeah, he doesn't need that. I don't think they're lonely. Like, this is a team that pretty much won over Reddit, apparently.
I mean, that's a thing. You know, you come in there with your stories, and you're a victim, and Reddit clings to it. They just get in there
with their story. Not going to lie, they did come out and let the whole Reddit world know what the tiebreaker situation was.
Yeah.
and was kind of looking to them as far as what their opinions were. But Vlad was right there to step in and say, this is a matter for, an admin to decide. He put up a proposition for this double elim. It looked like most teams agree, but it can be rough for some of the other teams, like Complexity and Wheel, who ultimately fell short in some of their earlier group stages. Now, they're going to need to fight through 2 different best-of-3s just to make it into those playoffs. And the playoffs start tomorrow. So you could be playing 2 best-of-3s today and then more best-of-3s tomorrow. It's going to be an exhausting time for Dota.
Yep, double elim into double elim for these teams that want to make it all the way through. But here's another pick from Root Gaming, an old classic, the Ogre Magi. He's the hero that they're notorious for running as a core, generally putting him in the mid lane. And for a good stretch there, Root Gaming was the team that first ban Ogre was always a thing. Now, they have had some roster changes. One of the reasons I've taken away the overlay here. Your boy JC still hanging around, but all these other names looking a little bit different. We've got Chicken MC, one we'll recognize. Suma1L. I don't know, how do you say that name? Sumal? Sumal, that's
and
an
he's
I,
like
okay.
an NEL pub star kind of a player swinging in right now. They've been doing that. There's been 2 stand-ins for the last group of games that Root Gaming's been played. I mean, it's obvious this isn't the same Root Gaming squad that we were, rallying behind during the Summit 2 run. They did fall short. They had a really great showing regardless, I'd have to say. But they have made some changes here. It's quite different from the Root Gaming squad I watched during that period, but still obviously strong contenders. They've made their way into the winners part of this tiebreaker, putting up a reasonable, respected record. But we'll see how it goes. This is like one of your hodgepodge NA Dota teams that they've managed to hustle together. Leviathan, a team that's been more true to their roster for a longer time. So I imagine they're slight favorites coming into this match. I don't know. Was there a hat percentage here?
There should be a Dota 2 Lounge bet.
I got it right here for you.
No, I don't think there is one.
No, there's not. We don't care about America. Sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, sorry for any hat fiends out there. But if I had to say, in my own personal opinions, it's probably 60-40 for Leviathan.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I can't quite speak to the potency of this current Root Gaming squad, so I have some faith in Leviathan. I'd even go a little higher, maybe closer to that 65, given that the Pudge has been picked up.
Yeah.
I think that I'll use my inside knowledge here to tip the scales. Interesting 4th pick from Leviathan, though, the Ursa Warrior. Now, a lot of different ways they can run these positions, and part of what makes the Jenkin Pudge so scary is that you don't know where he's going to run it. I've seen him do like an aggro try in the off lane. I've seen him just go straight into the jungle on both the Dire and Radiant and pull from either mid or the lane nearby. I think him going mid is not totally out of the question if he thinks he can find a good matchup. So lots of possibilities with the Mirana and the Ursa, 2 heroes that can be pretty flexible with their positioning. But here you go, number 4 pick for Root Gaming, the Fairy Dragon Puck. For a little bit of tempo control and action.
All right, so what do we got here? We got a team on Leviathan that are very sketchy. You got Pudge and Mirana, 2 heroes that love to just linger in the shadows and catch you off guard. So not just the advantage that they can pull off surprising pick-off plays like that, but you're also... Root Gaming are going to be in this mindset that they're going to constantly be kind of walking on eggshells, keeping their eyes on the mini-map to make sure these heroes don't just disappear, and you don't really have an idea of where they're going to be popping up. And if you don't have an idea and you're not communicating well, and this is a Root Gaming team that's had a lot of stand-ins and not a lot of time playing together, it could prove to be pretty troublesome. You're going to be, moving around, not sure what's going to be lurking around the next corner. Next thing you know, surprise bear, surprise arrow, surprise hook. Even a fast-moving Skywrath Mage, which is a hero that Leviathan always loved to go to. I'm not surprised it's in their first pickup. They are currently sporting 9 games. No, that's not. That's Root Gaming right here. I got this little stats book in front of me, and I can't really figure out what I wrote where. But Skywrath Mage is still the top 2 pickup right now for Team Leviathan. 8-5 record, well respected. Some teams love to grab a Skywrath Mage, and they don't really know what to do with him. They kind of just get him because they feel like he's a top-tier pick. Don't mean to make any call-outs right here, but at least the Root Gaming of old would love to pick up Skywrath. 9 games with him, but 2-7. So that just goes to show that's a fantastic hero, but you got to make sure he's in the right lineup at the right time. You can't just get him because he's trendy.
Very true. Now, the Night Stalker final ban from Root Gaming, a little interesting. I haven't seen too much Night Stalker since the patch. He was tweaked a little bit, but interesting to see him banned out. Probably worth mentioning also, there are simultaneous games happening right now. Of course, this is Leviathan versus Root. There is a Complexity versus Wheels going on, and I believe Complexity Cast is covering that right now. I think some of the match tickers got messed up. I don't know why all the match tickers assumed we would be covering Complexity, but we wanted to get
it's already
a
tricky situation as it is, so I can understand that. But that's the other thing I didn't mention before is that it kind of helps with time. Unfortunately, we don't get to cover all the action.
And Waga is playing with Complexity today also, which
he's been
a lot of folks are hype about.
They've been ringing in for a while. So, I mean, obviously, if you're a big fan of Complexity or you're a big fan of the Wheel Squad, you need to get over there and show them your support, you know, and the winner of that will play the winner of this. And that way we kind of save on time a bit, not having 3 best of 3s all day today, and then and I think we are having 3 best of 3s tomorrow. So it could be exhausting. So I think it works out nicely timing them out. So here we go, Leviathan. They're going to round out their lineup right now, picking up Sir Davion himself, Mr. Dragon Knight.
Yeah, DK. Haven't seen too much of him recently. Patch-wise, he was changed just a little tiny bit. Yeah, that level 16, the ultimate now at level 3 does maintain the corrosive breath. So that's nice. He can siege in the late game. You know, cute. But an interesting lineup from Leviathan. They've got a fair bit of control, some silence, some stuff to deal with BKB, and a pretty scary carry, the Ursa.
I want to say that the ban on Night Stalker that Root Gaming pulled at the end was a great ban. I feel like Night Stalker would have been so good in Leviathan's lineup. Considering the fact they're already lurking and hiding in the shadows, imagine being nighttime majority of the time and it affecting not just yourself but your wards and your buildings. You can't see shit. And then there's going to be all this stuff coming your way. So they settled for what might have been the next best thing, Dragon Knight here, great siege power. And look at this, to round things out, Root Gaming, they're going to put all their faith in their stand-in NEL pub star to play, the Medusa, the core late game Medusa.
Yeah, the old lady, the Gorgon herself. Pretty strong carry. Leviathan did not pick up any of the traditional counters, so not a bad 5th pocket pick there. No anti-mage, no Nyx Assassin with the mana burns to make her day a little more difficult. But what I worry more about is just Leviathan's ability to be aggressive. You know, this Jenkins Pudge moving around, he'll be able to put some pressure on this Medusa if she's not too careful. And even though they don't have any traditional counters, she'll still need a lot of farm to hit that critical mass and be scary.
All right, and with that said, we'll hop into the game and get things underway. This is going to be a best of 3 tiebreaker America group stage matchup of Root Gaming taking on Team Leviathan. If you don't mind, Andrew, I'm going to go ahead and lead off your introductions here for your Leviathan squad here. Dire Boys moving as a 5-man hit. It's going to be Nushim Dota playing your snowed out Marana, now smoking it on up. Shredder's going to be playing your Ursa with that sexy Alpine set. Look at that thing and all that richness. You're not going to see that set in game very often. Right in front of him now, it's going to be Jenkins playing his prize signature and favorite grab, the Pudge. And behind, it's going to be Shibby playing the Dragon Knight. Oh, and sorry, of course, Sunken playing the Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, I can't forget about Sunken now. We'll see if this invade is successful. Jenkins, he's already skilled up the hook at level 1. No surprise. Big fatty ogre. It's a miss.
Bummer.
Close call. But the others are still smoked up. They've got a few seconds. Maybe they can still find a jump. Your boy JC on the Sand King might be in the danger zone. They're starting to ping him out. Jenkins doesn't have enough mana for another hook. Not even close.
No, and he's going to reserve that clarity. I don't think he wants to spoil it now, miss another hook, and then really have nothing to offer in the laning stage. So, valiant effort from Leviathan to just kind of trot their way down to the enemy jungle and see if they can get a quick snag, but they're not going to do it this time. That's the one thing I love about these NA teams. They love to get aggressive early. They'll be one of the best as far as invading and going for those first early pickoffs.
Certainly so. Now on the Radiant side, we've got Root Gaming, the new Root. Joink, he'll be here on the Ogre Magi in the bottom lane. Yawar, he'll be on Medusa, the safe lane carry. Your boy JC, rocking the Sand King. Sumal takes the Fairy Dragon puck mid, and that leaves Chicken MC. He's got a new hashtag for us, dope till my nose froze. Damn, that's serious.
Where does that at? In his off lane?
In his name, yeah. Chicken MC.
He was playing the mid lane for a while for Root Gaming. So.
Yeah, he was back to the streets, and he was the first of his name, or last of his kind, or something to that degree, and well, now his nose froze.
Notoriously known pub star.
Serious business.
NA Dota player right there. And looking to hold his own, so they switched the roles a bit. You know, so it just kind of adds to the Root Gaming thing that's been happening. They've had roster changes, role swaps, a team that's been notoriously known to be innovators, I guess, in their own way back in the day. They used to like run a very core-heavy gyro where they would naked rapier, and that helped them secure a qualifier spot.
That's scary.
And then recently, like you talked about during the draft, the ogre grab. They were the first team to really get on the back of an ogre, but more so doing it as a core. So a team that's always been quite rambunctious.
Yeah, isn't it crazy to look at the Alpine Ursa set now and just think about how upset people were and how crazy the sets are now relative to this little cowboy hat that you can barely notice?
You could tell Valve is like, this isn't going to work. Let's get rid of it. Take it out. And the lucky few who took advantage are now the big boys.
You know who is a big boy on that front? Old Uncle LD.
Yeah, LD
Pop
has an
it easy.
Alpine scent, but he doesn't even stream. I don't even think
doesn't
he
stream.
uses it. He
Doesn't
just
play Ursa, but
holds
he's
it with all
got
the
it.
shekels.
Yeah, he's a collector. Well, slow early game here. Both teams being very, very cautious. I like one of the changes in the new patch that bottle crowing is a lot less efficient. Now the courier moves slower if it has a partially used bottle. So on that return trip, can't quite get that yummy replenishment as quickly as you used to be able to.
Seems like we're having a small bit of server issue. Yeah, it is ping across everyone
Oh,
right now. It took
great.
me a bit of a delay just to even get the ping call, and it's like 300 to 400 for everyone. And I know we're both plugged in secure on our landline here, so it seems like whenever these poor kids also, because that was the other thing, is that when they were trying to get through the back end of the group stages, I think it was even just yesterday, they were plagued with server problems and disconnects. I know I was in my own personal
In
games.
Merlini's words, the servers were shit yesterday.
Yeah,
and
and
that's not good.
it's unfortunate because we get ready, we get all amped to get out of the way, and here's our first hiccup. In the game number 1 to lead things off.
It hasn't even turned 2 minutes yet. We've got animals in the studio, packets being lost, servers underwater. Oh, man, it's going to be a long day.
Oh, boy.
Buckle your seatbelt.
I'm getting
Shredder.
amped up. We got a lot of Dota to get through. Got lots of best of threes for the next couple of days. So around this weekend, we need to round up America. I mean, we're going to finish out the group stages now, but then we have to move right in through the playoffs and get that one spot that's going to be taking their way all the way to Ukraine again.
Yeah, the
That'll be a lot of good
Ukraine.
time. And there's a fair amount of money, of course. Starladder, now in its 11th season, they got that 80K prize pool base. And they've built it up to about 120K right now.
Yeah, and nice little prize purse. Obviously not quite as much as past seasons of Starladder with their previously successful crowdfunding, but still money you can't scoff at. And the LAN final should be hype as ever in the Ukraine, as you mentioned. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll get to go again. It's a fun time.
So I know you took some time to look over the patch notes. Was there anything particular that you were getting excited and hoping to see? I mean, remind you, Techies is now in Captain Draft.
Yeah.
Or Captain's mode. And Bloodseeker also.
I thought
added in.
Bloodseeker would have been tweaked a little more, but before they brought him into Captain's mode. But I looked at this this set of patch notes, and all I could think was Ice Frog really wants people to play Chen. He just keeps pushing
what,
him
though?
a little bit more each time.
That's a great change.
Yeah.
That's a really good change. If people don't know the change yet on Chen, it's his Test of Faith, which is the big teleporting ability. Now you can cast it on yourself, which means after the delay, all your creeps come to you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I like the Holy Persuasion change, just to level it out 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 1, 2, 3. I think also changing the Ancients now, how the Granite Golem has the buff that increases your HP by 15%. Towards the late game,
it was funny because initially when everyone saw that, they're like, oh, Chen's going to love this. Chen's going to love this. You got to remember, all those ancient creeps benefit from that. Stacking in general is that much harder.
Yeah.
So your Tidehunter pickup, let's say, and Root Gaming went with Tidehunter this game in the off lane. It's not going to be quite as easy to just go over and build up some stacks and farm them away. It's going to take 15% more time for each creep.
Yep, here's
whatever.
the big old golem, the
what
Granite
luck.
Aura.
The first one, I mean, given you can have great luck and it's never a golem that spawns there, but he gets golems right off the bat. So I'm really curious to see how much harder it's going to be now. And remind you, on top of that nerf for Tide, on being able to do Ancients, you got the damage for Ravage was scaled down a bit. Refresher has been nerfed. It's 10 more seconds of cooldown. So you put all this together, Tidehunter has been nerfed pretty good, but Root Gaming still feel like he's pretty optimal, and they'll grab him up.
Even if this isn't quite his patch, people will still play him for a little while and feel it out to the bitter end.
I mean, these are just heroes that also they're used to practicing and scrimming with, and it's almost safer to play something you're more comfortable with than trying out one of the new picks or giving a go yet again with Brood or
Yeah.
Ricky off lane or something like that.
Absolutely. I also really like the first rune change now. So there's no RNG for those first bloods if you get a haste or a lucky double damage, and it still gives you some incentive to fight over the rune. The double bounty, if you can get both of them, man, that's your level 2. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I like the idea of doubling those early on, so there's still incentive to fight, but not quite as
Random.
random
I think
as, you know,
if you
double
get the best
damage.
of both worlds, people were just upset at how the random factor could, like one haste rune, one DD rune early, you can have a first blood that could change the whole game. It seems, you know, it's not every game it could be that dramatic, but certainly a lot of teams can get behind a lot of momentum with a solid first blood, and if it's because of a RNG rune, that kind of sucks. So now you get the no RNG, but you still get to have that nice rune fight, that nice rune bits of action, and they built a little more incentive into the runes by doubling them up. And I've picked it up as a support halfway to level 2.
Yeah,
plus
it's
100
good.
gold. That's a free smoke. One more jungle camp and you're at your level 2 immediately. You don't even have to show yourself in lane without getting a level 2, which is great for heroes like I don't know, Crystal Maiden, let's say. So Crystal Maiden can pick up the bounty, go over, freeze a creep, get level 2, and next thing you know, you have both your nukes to work with. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The other two big winners I saw, Queen of Pain was the huge one. Now that her ultimate is pure damage, they scaled it so it doesn't do a super imba amount of damage now, but Blink, increasing the range to 1,300 at level 1, all sorts of changes. I think Quap is pretty viable now, and she was buffed a bit, just kind of general damage, but I think Lena is so damn strong right now. I was playing her in some pubs the other day, and granted that's lower tier Dota, but she's a pretty good antidote to those BKB carrying carries. I mean, she zaps them down. So food for thought, a lot of fun changes, and I think overall the impression was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it here. We'll see. But it's video game time, according to Shredder, and we can finally get back underway. Let's just cross our fingers and hopes we don't have too many server hiccups along the way. And as you said before, quiet start. The new runes did pop up. It was a haste there at the top that's going to be quickly snagged up. But here we go. Jenkins, he's doing the pull. Dire side. He's pulled the creep down. It's going to draw the aggro. And now he's going to take this mid lane back up into the jungle, farm it up, use it for himself, and to take that farm away now from Puck on the other side.
Yep, good old Jenkins right back at it again. So a lot of valuable things here towards the 9. The XP from Puck is a big one. Gives Pudge the ability to farm and open up more efficiency around the map. Unfortunately, it does mean Chibi has to last hit under tower, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, but still giving him an edge over the Puck and forcing Sumal to come very far forward into the lane.
But that's why you get a Dragonite, because he's got that built-in regen, that Dragon's Blood. So it became now it becomes pretty apparent that they got that pick because he has the sustain to take on this creep.
But up top, dope till my nose froze. Shredder going in, trying to do what damage he can. They don't have enough to bring down the tide, but they do force a TP from Joik. And Ogre will repel the likes of the Ursa.
Yeah, it's getting really sketchy up here right now, especially now with your boy JC moving in. Burrow strike catches on Sunken. Not much man to work with here, but he is just one man. And he's going to try to block him out here as Jenkins could be rotating over at this point and trying to help out. He's got to be careful here, but he really wants Sunken. But here comes Jenkins looking to interject right now. He's going to get the rod off, but nope. It's going to be a first blood actually on the other side. It's going to be Joik going down, but we'll keep action here. Jenkins trying to run away from this one. Do they have enough damage to take down Chicken? Chicken now going to be kited between the 3. Nope. Yep, blasted. Fire roasted right there from Shibby. And now nice hook catches on your boy JC, but do they have enough to take him down? They don't have any more mana. What are they going to do? They're just have to chase him, shoo him out from the jungle at this point?
I think this Scorpion might be able to live here. He's in a pretty good position. We'll cut the mid lane. We'll have enough mana for the stun pretty soon, about 15 short. Jenkins not going to have enough for a hook anytime in the near future, but he's got Tranquils. He's going to be able to close the gap. We'll catch our boy JC here with the rod. Now Shibby comes in, misses the fire, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to find the kill. Jenkins knows his limits, and that will make it 3-0 to get things started. The first blood, as you mentioned, actually missed it. It was Shredder who picked it up all by his lonesome. So now this Ursa with huge CS and a solo kill under his belt in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, simultaneous action. You know, they could have been also trying to pay attention to the weird engagement in the jungle right there and had missed footing and allowed Ursa to really open up on the Ogre. But, you know, big swing right there. Leviathan get really a lot out of that. Now 3-0 ahead. Their carry core Shredder gets a sweet kill. Jenkins gets a kill on his Pudge, and that was a lot of time wasted for your Sand King, who has to consider stepping back and now putting work in the jungle. There are stacks on the side of Root Gaming, though, for that Sand King, which is good, but they're going to need to really buckle down here soon.
Yeah, it looks like just a double stack there on the hard camp, so not too much for him to work with, but hey, it's better than nothing, and, well, maybe he can still find some recovery for a good time on this Blink Dagger. 5.5 minutes, only 130 gold. I think if he gets it around that 10-11 minute mark, he'll be happy. puck. In a similar situation, farming okay in the mid. Shibby rotating up towards the top lane. Did give puck a little bit of space. Now number 3 on last hit. So we're going to see a rotation mid. Root has 3. LvT, they'll have a few to rendezvous also. Jenkins gets stunned up, and the big boy will be okay. He's got a hook, thinking about throwing it. Grabs the creep instead of the puck. A close call, but Samal will be just fine. And I think that's where this little scuffle will peter off.
Bottom lane during that whole scuttle. Yeah, we're getting a lot of farm for himself here. Medusa's at 32 and 13. Nice amount of denies happening right there, and she's really finding to get a solo farm for himself. She's going to go right in for the power treads. So we're going to build that up early. Nushim, who hasn't really roamed a lot with this Mirana. Actually going more core style, it would seem here. So she's got the phase boots. Good, respectable right-click can farm it up for himself and doing with more points into the Starstorm. So she's looking to just kind of hold off a bit and look to just bring some right-click later on.
Yeah, this is kind of the Nushim style, I think. Play the off-lane, more sacrificial Mirana, and then find the recovery farm. A Midas, definitely not out of the question. I think it's Leviathan that have employed that strategy on off-lane Miranas in the past, so we'll see where he wants to go. Sumal rejoins the mid lane here, and full bottle, ready to put some pressure onto Shibby. Still reasonably quiet, though. A little surprised to see. Well, actually, I'm not surprised at all. With an Ursa and a Dusa, both teams just trying to get their footing. But here we go. That's the big item pickup. 7-minute Blink Dagger on the Ursa.
Dire's middle tower is under
Blink
attack.
was changed a bit just to allow technically non-damage to not block. Doesn't really affect too many in this game, but
does not affect Ursa.
He wants to put that Blink right to use and put it right on Chicken here. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, nope. Earthshock going to go on the creeps and farm that up instead. So he doesn't have any more mana to work with here, and they'll just kind of wait it about. Tidehunter, 13-2, has reasonable CS in this lane. Doesn't have to step back for the Ancient stack quite yet, but obviously would love to get a little bit more so we can bulldoze forward into potential arcanes and Blink Dagger.
But he's got a squiddle, so that's what's really important. Chicken MC, he's tricked out. He is a true gangster. I feel like LvT might want to put a little more resources into shutting down this Dusa. She's had a lot of space and still the last hit leader. Maybe things will change now that Shredder has his Blink. He can get a little bit more active, but if this keeps up, Yawar, he's going to be a handful to deal with.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a point when Team Leviathan are going to look to put the pedal to the metal and start really taking a lot of kills in the mid game. Really utilizing the Pudge, utilizing the Ursa, maybe trying to sneak in a quick Roche after a nice pickoff, and take down Root Gaming before they can even dream of a late game scenario. Medusa's one of the best. You don't want to tussle with that one. Even Ursa himself will get kited around easily. There we go, mid lane, big action, breaking out right now. They take down the puck. Shibby once more. Moving on to your boy Jisoo, but not going to quite get it, but excellent grab to lead things off. Hook, going to catch on your boy JC. Jenkins holds him there, and he's just going to rot him home now. Your boy JC, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Will drop in a double kill for Shibby. Dream scenario mid lane right now for Leviathan.
Yeah, the double damage rune making it happen to find the kill on puck. I saw Jenkins gearing up for something, and that was it, the rotation to the mid lane. So right before that, I was thinking the big bottleneck with this
they're going
kind
on top. Ravage is actually going to be used from Chicken MC just to defend himself. And he had to, really. It was a nice slow setup coming up from Skywrath Mage. Shredder was just getting ready to maul him apart, but that Ravage creates some
What
space.
a victory for LvT, though. If you can force out the first Ravage defensively, now there's this long window of time where LvT can just be super aggressive, put pressure on the Tide, push towers, and they know that Root Gaming aren't really in defensive shape. But now that Jenkins is just about to be level 6, still not there yet, but third of the way, 200 out of 600. That's when he can really put a lot of pressure on. Gearing up in the mid, looking for a hook onto the puck, and will just barely miss. Grabs the range creep, arrow flying through, and will fall short.
Yushim tried to call out a gank towards mid lane with the Moonlight Shadow so we could go there undetected, but it's a puck after all. One of the most pesky mid laners you can get as far as trying to gank and bring down. Just so elusive. Her hitbox is so little. So when you're trying to land a hook and an arrow, it's like a crazy-ass carnival game that you think is fixed.
Yeah. Mirana still doing pretty well in the off lane, pulling up that gold for now, up to about 1,000. Dusa doing the same. Probably a Lincoln's will be on the way before too long here. A little bit of a party in the Dire well, thinking about a smoke perhaps as Jenkins regens up, and here we go. 3 hero smoke as they leave the base. They are hungry for blood, and it looks like the Dusa is what's on the menu tonight.
All right, that would be a big grab for them. She's really been uncontested in this bottom lane. She already has 1,800 gold. It felt like I was just looking at her about the power treads and has managed to throw this together without really having to utilize split shot or any sort of aggressive farm tactics. But hey, that smoke was actually to sneak Shredder into the pit from the high ground with that blink. and he's going to get started there. Root Gaming don't seem to be aware of it, but they should be able to catch on to the fact that Ursa's been missing for quite a while, and that they need to check that area out.
Oh, your boy JC in some trouble. A Centaur comes out, and he'll still get hooked. Nice stun onto Sunken, but can your boy JC actually make the great escape here? We'll have some support from the Dusa, moving in from the lane, but Mirana comes down. That's an easy kill on the Scorpion. And also creates some space for Roshan. Shredder solos it down and picks up the Aegis.
Oh, Jenkins grabs Medusa, fakes her once, fakes her twice, gets it on the third one, but immediate Stone Gaze, the anti-pudge, will force him back it away. He's very low and gets right-click all the way down. Sumal benefits getting 2 kills and getting his team finally on the board, but are they done yet? Over on the right-hand side, Arrow going to go, not going to catch in time, and it looks like Sumal is going to make a nice swift escape towards the mid lane to walk out, but they're not done. Shredder jumps in once you are. Medusa caught all alone, Fire Blast, able to get in there. She's so low, but she gets brought down with the right-click. Very nicely done from Nushim. Now Ogre. Joik. Can he juke his way away? The jukes of Joik. Come on, baby. Trying to hide through the trees. Can't get it. Will get brought down as well. Shredder picks up another kill. Levian picks up another kill, and they move ahead 8-2.
For a moment there, it looked like Root were going to turn it around and get a really nice fight for themselves. The recap, only catching the last 2 kills. Great turnaround from Leviathan and showing us what that Ursa is all about. Shredder, as soon as he got that Blink Dagger, has been a lot more active, and now that he has an Aegis, no reason not to be going in, being as aggressive as possible. Does have a clarity on, so we'll find a little bit of mana for Earthshock, and we can see another fight breakout. Chicken MC this time around does have a Ravage at the ready, so might be able to find a turn even if Shredder jumps in and does a lot of damage.
They're going to need a silence. If he jumps in, they'll need the silence there, otherwise he will get that Ravage off.
Yep, and here we go. Shredder just going to blink defensively, hops into the river, and that'll be the end of it for now. Still 8-2, Leviathan coming out strong, 3,000 gold and experience in their favor. The DK picked up a well-timed Midas and already has a Drum of Endurance. So things are falling into place for the Dire side. Really for Root Gaming, it's this Dusa who's doing amazingly well. Now has a Yasha, and the Puck does have a Blink Dagger. So still some hope for the Radiant side.
I'm feeling like this is going to be a pretty action-packed mid-game from both sides. They have great initiators, great pick-off players. So it's really who's going to kind of lead the charge. More Root Gaming trying to set up a good big team fight with a lead-in, whether it be a Ravage or a Dream Coil setup, and looking to go for the heavy burst lockdown and allow Medusa to just kind of take it home with sweet kills. Or Leviathan looking off with a great pick-off play, or maybe just a jump in from Ursa. Now mid-lane, they're looking to scout it out. Pudge. Looking for the hook. The blink back's going to be there, though. They have great vision on the high ground because of this ward right over here on the side, but it's Puck. Going to be hard to grab.
Yeah, this is the Dire vision right now, and still they don't know that all 5 of Root are actually gathered up around the tower, hiding in the fog, and ready to fight if Puck ends up getting jumped on. And maybe Sumal just wants to hand over a hook just so that they can bait in a fight with all these reinforcements nearby. Jenkins and Sunken rotate down into the river, looking for an opening, but can't find it. Radiant with the superior ward vision right now.
Radiant's top tower
got
is
themselves
under
covered
attack.
on both sides of the river.
They have 1 stack of their ancient camp for now, but Shibby is flying on through here. Already in dragon form, he's going right for this tier 1 tower to help finish it off, and they should be able to grab it with ease. Yep. No glyph available. They take it down, but they want to make a fight happen. Chicken looking to waltz on in there, get the Ravage off. Coil sets it up, and they get it. Big Ravage, Acre Smash follow through. It looks like Team Root Gaming are going to be able to take down 2 in the top lane, make it 3. Big turnaround right there from the Root squad, but Shredder trying to go in and go ham, but he runs right into an epicenter. Beautifully set up from your boy JC. Root Gaming now put themselves back up 5-8.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the kind of team fights they need to get right back in this game. And yeah, that's a 3,000 gold swing, so it is leveled out 5-8. They don't defend their tower, but they make that Ravage count, and now they're going to rotate towards the mid, maybe hungry for a little more. Sumal, he's going to go right in. Silence, Coil, on 2, will blink forward, and need some reinforcements here. Now Puck silenced, dismembered. Root Gaming will rendezvous, and that forces back the remaining members of Leviathan. So 15 minutes in, finally seeing some blood drawn here, and this Dusa really getting that snowball move, and now 2,000 gold up on her. Yawar maybe looking at a fast Manta, but Jenkins going blow for blow with the Pudge, or pardon me, with the Puck, but Puck blinks out.
Yeah, it was a nice little cheeky play. Puck almost baited Jenkins into a hook. When he went for the hook, he jumped forward towards Jenkins, bursted him down pretty low to about 3rd life, but there were quick rotations and Puck pulled back.
All right, more rotation coming from the Dire side into the Radiant jungle. Shibby with a haste rune on. Goes charging in the front lines. And not going to find anything. Root Gaming very defensive with their positioning here.
take away this stack. A little bit of extra farm right there for Leviathan. JC's going to walk over and be like, oh, man, what? I just put this here.
Come on,
this was
guys.
my farm for my Blink Dagger farm.
Yeah, he pings it out, too. Oh, wow, this Sing King, he is so poor. And, well, not that poor. He's at 1,900 gold, but timing-wise, not so hot. We're almost 16 minutes in and still a couple hundred gold short. Leviathan doing a good job putting pressure in the jungle, not giving him anywhere to farm.
Is under attack.
Tier 1 tower in the mid does get glyphed. Leviathan will hang around. It looks like they'll be able to finish her off. Puck will not get the deny. Close call, but Shredder looks forward to finish it off.
Has fallen.
So that's 2 towers down. Leviathan getting a little bit of map control.
Yep. Nice siege work. Root Gaming, don't really feel comfortable about that. They can't really take big fights unless they have big ultimates. Nice little blink dodge right there from Chicken MC as Jenkins trying to add the pressure. And, yeah, pretty much Root Gaming, they can't put up a strong team fight unless they have those strong ultimates to work with. That's the drawback, of course, when you get a lineup like this with Puck and with Epicenter and with Dream Coil, is you want to make sure you have all the ammunition available for these big team fights. Leviathan, they did try to have Jenkins step back and build up some farm. I imagine that they're going to need this Pudge to get a little bit of mobility just to get an easier setup or easier juke point with these hooks. You're going to need a Blink Dagger, maybe a Force Staff. Yep. Sometimes I see even the Yules come out. That way you could just Yules and get the easy hook setup. I'm pretty sure... I know in Dota 1 you used to be able to hook a Yules. Can you still hook a Yules?
That.
So you can still hook the Yules as well.
Yeah, it's really good. Really strong item with Pudge, and unfortunately we'll have another bout of lag, it looks like.
Let me go ahead and get on the console here.
The ping train. So we got Root Gaming. They're smoked up. 3 heroes moving into the jungle. We'll do a slideshow cast here, PowerPoint style. And Leviathan, they've got a few.
It's minor lag, so it looks like they're going to get back underway here. Not too bad.
This could be pretty cataclysmic. Tide does have a Ravage.
Where's he at? Oh, they're smoked up.
They're on their way in. Leviathan, are they privy? It doesn't look like it.
But it was above to the north. Had that been more in the jungle, they would see
Dusa
this.
coming around. Yoink. Shredder walks right into it, blinks back just in the nick of time, but now Tide in hot pursuit. He's got a Gush, Moonlight Shadow. Is there any detection on Root Gaming? Yes, there is.
Just dropped a sentry. Jenkins in big trouble.
And Jenkins will not be able to live through the initial onslaught. Now the Ravage comes out, connects on 2. Sunken and Nushi actually connects on 3. Shibby was off to the side. They're on the defensive now, but a multicast onto Nushim. He'll still be able to survive. A close call, but does live for now. Puck comes in, misses the silence, but hits him with the orb. A few more auto attacks on to do it. Chicken MC coming on in. They'll get the kill onto Sumal as a nice ultimate from Sunken flies through. Doing what damage he can, but him and Shibby on the back foot. Will have to stay behind the tower. Double damage rune on the Dragon Knight still. Won't want to fight, and that'll be the end of it. Root Gaming going to find the better of the trade.
All right, so this is Root Gaming's time to shine, they feel. Well, they can really get a lot done, especially when those ultimates are at the ready, and you see it right there. Nice little chase down play. Don't mean to call anyone out, but maybe a bit of that black factor for your Nusha Marana. 6 beautiful drum charges, but doesn't really want to use them quite yet. I know there was a couple of moments maybe they can use the extra bit of burst to get away there, and we were graced with an extra charge in this recent patch. I think you could get a little more selfish and maybe put a couple out there. So, but hey, even the best of the best, as Black said, tends to forget, and his team will call him out on it. So hopefully looks to invest in using that a bit more. But
it happens.
Man, this is also supposed to be Leviathan's time to really get a lot of kills and pick off plays. So that's a bit unnerving for Leviathan. Root Gaming are getting a lot at this point. Still relatively youthful in this game, 7-9 at 18 minutes in. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, but Ursa, a lot more momentum-based than the Medusa. She's that true late-game hard carry, and Ursa peaks a little bit early in that. He'll pick up a BKB pretty soon, about 500 gold off the recipe. Is that going to be enough to really get Leviathan chugging along and knocking down towers again? I think that's going to be the key thing in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Can they knock down more of these towers? And Root Gaming not going to make it easy as they group up. Your boy JC's now picked up the Blink Dagger. Better late than never. And Epicenter at the ready. They want to take a team fight.
Let's see here. It's more about finally getting the objectives underway. Hoping that Leviathan was going to be the team to kind of push down the towers and restrict the farm from Medusa, not allow her to really spread her Medusa wings and get whatever the hell she wants. So Leviathan are now the ones on the defensive, which I don't think that was how this was originally supposed to go. So with that Root Gaming need to really find a big comeback, which their team can always do. An arrow, a hook, can dramatically turn things around to a team fight in their favor.
Allies disappear.
Well, here you go. Moonlight Shadow. Nushi hanging out in the pit. Roche will be up here in just a second. Nusham
here. Oh, they're going to be seen!
leaves the pit.
There's no vision there, though.
Nusham going to scout it out. Walks right by Joik. Arrow will be off the mark. Ogre, he's just putting down a ward. That was an accidental juke, but he's silenced. He's in trouble. He gets hit by a concussive. Mystic Flare rains from the skies, but now Sand King comes in. Ravage from Chicken MC secures a quick kill. Mirana trying to make it away, although she's stuck inside of the coil. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chicken MC gets hooked down. Will get brought down by the Dragon Knight and the Pudge. And now Puck in a bit of trouble herself. Your boy JC coming on in. Whoa! Papa Pump. He
Papa
just
Pause.
gets, yeah, Papa Pause. Look at this, your boy JC, what the fuck indeed, dude. He just got obliterated. He got stunned, blasted by fire, and hooked, and that's his HP there. As Jenkins says, it's fine for me, bro.
I don't know. I mean, they got a nice little quick takedown, taking down the Mirana, but I think at that point they should have just hightailed it out of there. They don't have Medusa with them. Medusa right now split pushing the top lane, finding farm there. So without having everyone, this is a fight they really might not win. But then again, you know, Shredder's also not there. He's already on the way out, but I think Leviathan pretty much had the upper hand with that rune here.
Yep. So, yeah, okay. Sand King gets taken out, and that will be the end of that little fight. So looking at the recap, it is a 2 for 3. Leviathan find the better of it this go-around. Not by much, but still their fight to win. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Dusa trying to split push. She's got a TP, but Jenkins has a haste rune in hot pursuit. Dismember, no! Not enough mana, unfortunate. He had a few bottle charges, but didn't want to sip it. Oh, wow.
Should have sipped it as soon as he arrived.
Yep.
And got there, put a couple of sips in, would have been ready to go with a couple of, you know, with a bite. But not going to happen. Great split push, though, for Medusa. Had she not been there, had she been in the fight and got wounded and head back to the base, that would have been an easy Roche takedown for Leviathan. Arrow not going to catch on bottom lane. But
I don't think they've actually scouted out that Roche is up yet. Mirana was in the pit and left like 2 or 3 seconds before he spawned. And I don't know if they've actually gone back to check. So still in that window where he could have spawned already, maybe not, and Leviathan will discover it soon. Pudge hasn't earned, now 1,100 gold, probably just the Blink Dagger.
Blink, yeah.
Yep. We'll see. Still working on a pretty good timing. Has the farm of the Ursa going. He's got the BKB. Didn't go for a full Vlad's, just the casual Morbid Mask. Curious what build Shredder's going to move into after this.
Well, now he has a defense. He has the initiation factor right there. Looks like a Vlad? Is that what you said already, though?
Well, I don't know if he's actually going to go for the Vlads. Usually, like, Ursa rushes Vlads, but it's really for that lifesteal, so he just goes for the value Morbid Mask.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll upgrade it. That's why I'm kind of curious. Like, Blink right into BKB, still on brown boots. Like, he's just doing it raw dog, you know, hopping right in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would work best for this kind of life up. Is it crazy to say maybe a potential sheep stick? That might be more luxury, but you're going against some Medusa here.
It's pretty good if you can hop in, catch the initiation on the Tide or the
You'll have
Dusa,
to pop her
even the
potential
Puck.
Lincolns at some
Yeah,
point.
well, she did go Manta first item, remember? So if she's going Lincolns, it's still a ways off.
Hey, Diffusal now works with Life Leech.
There you
go. Put a
go.
Diffusal on Ursa, he'll hit pretty damn quick, and now the move speed cap has been raised.
Yeah, or the auto attack cap, yeah.
Quick swipes of mana reduction.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, a little bit of Diffusal action. I like the play. Very good against
mad
the
scientist, I feel, but
Medusa. Yeah, still an option, though. Also, MKB could be a very real possibility if Medusa ends up going for good old Butterfly. Mid lane, Nusham almost in some trouble. Has an invisibility rune, and that will keep him safe. In the top lane, though, it's going to be Sunken.
Oh boy, Sunken, what are you doing?
Well, Puck's got BOTs. I don't know if they've been revealed either.
He lives with the wall.
And in comes Shredder. Nice base shift from Sumal, but it could cost him everything. We'll have a Blink Dagger up in 1 second. Comes back to the ground. Shredder can't get off the auto attack.
They're also mid lane, buddy. Oh, the hook is going to catch right there. JC, this came at the conclusion of a big epicenter play. Everyone's very low, but not out yet. JC, though, will go down. They also take down Nusham's Mirana. So what is that going to be? A 2-for-1 trade when it's all said and done. Action from top to bottom, literally. And that all started. Oh, they get the courier, the last hit happening from Puck in the mid lane. The longest lingering auto attack follows the courier right into the base. And now Puck quickly blinks out and away.
Boots up in 1 second here. Looks like he will live. Shredder walks by, but no way to stop it. So Pudge does find a Blink Dagger off that fight. Good news for Leviathan there. Glancing at the graph, still a very small gold lead for the Dire side. Both teams now getting a little more caught up in the skirmishing. DK picks up a fresh BKB. And almost level 16, just a couple of creeps shy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That all had started top, by the way, because Sunken, trying to be the man, saw the dream of trying to solo the Medusa, hoping I'd get it all done, even dropped the Mystic Flare, and then she just quickly turned and Root Gaming, who happened to be in the neighborhood, just converged onto him, and it was very rough. But I guess some space created towards the top lane helped Leviathan get a lot towards the mid.
Yeah, deny on the bottom tier 1, and Leviathan still hanging in there pretty damn well. Sunken looks like he has a Rod of Atos coming on the Skywrath Mage, so not too far away from that. A fun item we don't get to see nearly enough, but obvious synergy with the Skywrath, keep him stuck in the Mystic Flare, and really good with the Ursa also. Just blink in, hit him with the slow, maybe a concussive, and Ursa should be able to get plenty of licks in, and stack up all that extra damage.
All right, looks like Jenkins would love to put this Blink Dagger to use. Scouting out the mid lane right now for potential opportunities, but hey, don't go without your friends. You are just one pudge. At this point in the game, you can't really get any solo kills. Some of these heroes might be just too hard to take down. In fact, I don't think there's anyone on the side of Root Game that Jenkins can just kind of take down mano-y-mano. So he's always going to need a hand. Now he's heading towards mid lane because that's where they're going for a push. The hook not going to be there as they jump back, and the tower will be taken down from JC. So Root Gaming get a bit of extra gold there. Yep. Bottom lane, they're finding a trade as they go into tier 2.
Yeah, TP was on the way but got canceled as Shredder positioned himself just to move in with the overpower and start doing some damage. He'll go right on to Joik here. He gets a 2x multicast, stops the bear dead in his tracks. BKB used, Moonlight Shadow deployed. He really wants this Ogre, hits him with the Earth Shock, and down he goes. Now thinking about his other options here, and will not commit to any of them. Instead, they'll just settle for the tier 2 tower trade. And now headed towards the high ground. Up top, Dusa does finish off that tier 2 tower. And now TP's back to prepare for the defense. Dragon Knight in the Elder Dragon form. Remember that corrosive change coming into play here, Coddle Guy, as this tower gets ticked down.
Shibby puts himself in position. They start to siege away here. Optimal setup here for Root Gaming if they want it. And yeah, I felt that lag too, so I'm not really surprised. This is a big moment right now. Leviathan, first time this game. They're breaking into the base here from the south side on Root Gaming. And Root Gaming now, they have their Tidehunter with Ravage at the ready. Their Puck Coil at the ready. This is their hurrah to kind of get Leviathan out of the base and really propel themselves forward with resources. But if somehow they choke, they fall short, they get caught out with a hook, an arrow, things can go drastically the other way, and Leviathan could quickly have a set of racks.
This is a really scary time for Root Gaming. 25 minutes in, you don't normally expect folks to be knocking on your front door, but they made the mistake of using the glyph to try and defend the tier 2 and buy themselves some time in that last push. And now Leviathan say, hey, you don't have a glyph. We've got a Dragonite with plenty of time left on his ulti. We're going in here, and now you're going to be forced to fight. Even with 5v4, or probably a 5v5 once Ogre comes back up, it's going to be hard for Root. They've got a Ravage, they've got all their key ultimates, but time is ticking, and these structures will go down very, very quickly. Dusa hasn't even started the TP back. TP's still on cooldown for 12 seconds. This is actually a huge deal here.
Yeah.
They've got 12 seconds with no Dusa. They need that Stone Gaze to make this hold.
Exactly. Oh, man, oh, man. Because if they get a hook or arrow, she can just quickly Stone Gaze and kind of take back the fight. But I think they're just going to have to hold their own and stall out. Don't lose the tower. They don't have glyph either, but it's still lagging, man.
I felt that lag, man.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Valve server's on the extreme hiccup right here. I don't know if this is something that maybe... I mean, it's not in our jurisdiction, I guess, to make the decision, but maybe we consider moving servers to west. Is that going to be terrible?
I have no idea. That's on the Starladder admins. This is the worst game for Puck, I think. Yep, Sumal shouldn't have picked such a high skill cap hero. You got to play through the lag, my man.
You shouldn't have to feel like that. You should be able to pick whatever you want. You shouldn't have to anticipate Valve and their, servers having a bit of trouble.
It's really infuriating, honestly, because there's, just nothing we can do about it. It's totally out of our control. And
I wish it was like the Summit. We can kind of just go reset a router and everything be all hunky-dory, but that's not the case here. We're in the struggle as much as the players and everyone else, and I'm sure even Starladder and their reps. We're all sitting here waiting and hoping that things can get resolved, and I'm sure they're aware.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, what else do we have up on the docket today? After this, we're going to see the winner, who will be moving on to the qualifier stage alongside E-Hug and Sneaky Nyx Assassins. We can always touch base, but we are going to get back underway, but we can always touch base with the other game and see where they're standing right now.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
But we don't need to do that.
Here we go. Leviathan, they'll back out after the lag. Tier 3 tower almost goes down. Sits at 60 HP, and they will sound the retreat. Aegis of the Immortal, still in the inventory of the Ursa, but not for much longer. Looks like she's just about to expire. So
that tower was so low. It only took one more auto attack, and they could have at least secured the tier 3, which, given that there weren't server troubles, they probably could have. But I'm sure Root Gaming are happy. They don't lose Rex. They don't have to engage in a fight. And they will have their Medusa, hopefully, for the next go-around.
yeah, maybe a small stroke of luck there for Root Gaming that Leviathan didn't push it a bit harder while the Medusa was stuck out of the base. But speaking of the Gorgon, she's got the Lincoln Sphere now, so a bit tankier, harder to bring down. Does have that shield and level 16, so has Stone Gaze maxed out and ready to use it. Root did smoke up behind the Medusa in the mid, trying to bait Wither out. But while I'm talking about that, Jenkins finds a solo pick onto the Ogre. Now Puck on the way in, grabs the Dream Coil, doing as much damage as he can, and yeah, nowhere for Jenkins to go. Ends up being an easy pick-off and a 1-for-1 trade. Big boy for big boy.
Frickin' Jenkins. I start telling him how he's not going to get any solo pickoffs, and he goes and does something like that. Now, I didn't see if Ogre started at full health or not. Maybe he caught like a wounded deer from like the low ground.
Yeah.
Let's say he could even hooked someone out from like this farming spot here.
I think he must have.
Yeah, and just saw Ogre like trying to take down creeps and was wounded. And I'll check the replay to give him full credit or not, but nice grab for him regardless. He does feed over his own life though.
All right, Diffusal on Ursa. So it will indeed stack with the Morbid Mask. If this was a Vlad's, it'd be no issue, but since he wants to keep it the value item here, it will indeed go right with this nice mana burn, the feedback. Mana break. Oh, they changed it. Didn't it used to be called feedback? Now it's called mana break. That's cool. The actual mana burn on Diffusal.
Anti-mages?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it used to be feedback. Maybe I'm confusing it with something else, but all right.
What was it called in Han?
God, I don't know. I don't even remember what the other item was called. Diffusal Blade?
No, that's this one.
What was it? Yeah, what was it in Han?
I don't remember, dude.
I
don't remember either, to be honest.
Some janky bullshit that sounded like Diffusal Blade. I really can't remember. Wow, I've tried to box all those Han memories out, and I guess I've done well.
You're doing well.
Yeah,
I
all
don't
right.
remember either, so I guess it's working for me. But.
So it's pretty exciting. Shredder now with some mana burn, and of course the Purge is a big deal for chase potential. So always a good item to have when you're talking about the Medusa.
The thing is I really like Leviathan are actually managing to make some push progression, and they're finding a pick off here and there. I guess it works. It is an even trade, but this Medusa just keeps farming up. There's going to be a point when she just hits critical mass, and I don't think Leviathan are going to really have the answer. They would have to get another situation where they get good pickoffs on the other teammates or put Root Gaming into a bad situation where maybe their lack of proper communication and normal teamwork would be in bitter jeopardy. But for right now, all they have to worry about is their stand-in comes in, gets great farm on the Medusa, and really hits it home. So
Puck has gone for an Aghanim Scepter here.
Oh.
An item we see a fair bit. Very good against BKBs, and there are already 2 of them on the side of Leviathan. Unfortunately, they don't have any force staves. Oh, no, they have one. Okay, one on the Tide, so you might be able to force somebody into one of those huge 4.5-second stuns here. Coil onto Shredder. Is he going to break the tether? No, he's not. Your boy JC goes in deep. And Shredder, he'll be just fine. BKB keeps him safe and strong. Now Medusa coming on in. There's your Stone Gaze, and it'll just be a full retreat from Leviathan. Well played, and they handle the Medusa ult with elegance and grace as they all survive. Now thinking about reinitiating.
Nice attempt to make the jump on Shredder. It's kind of hard to force staff someone, though, that is BKB. That's the downside. That's why I always like a Vengeful Spirit on your team. Doesn't matter if they BKB or not. You can swap them into the coil snap and makes it work. But, hey, you never know. You catch a Shredder who doesn't pop BKB or has BKB on cooldown, then that's an effective setup in its own right. Now, they do manage to get away as soon as Stone Gaze comes in, which might have been a touch too late, but I really like the counterplay that Leviathan have here. Mirana instantly just pulls out her ultimate the second the Shell Gaze pops. Now they're making a go. Can they get Medusa? No, jump in. Ravage going to be there. Uh-oh, Leviathan didn't see this one coming, and now Shredder gets blown up, and so does Jenkins. Big epicenter, jump to the high ground right there, and with a quick step back, they're going to avoid the Mystic Flare. They do lose the Sand King, but oh, nice Yules. Prevents Newsham from getting away, and they're going to burst down the Mirana as well. It's going to be a 3-man takedown and a mega kill streak for Sumal on the Puck. Oh, Leviathan thought they could get a quick grab on Medusa, but they were quickly proven wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Root Gaming striking back so hard there now. They've taken the Golden Experience lead. They'll try to reward themselves with a Tier 2 tower here in the mid lane. Dire do have a glyph standing if they want to contest this, but with 3 heroes down, I don't think that one's going to happen. Roche, oh, not going to be up quite yet. Very unfortunate for Root. If that was a fast Roche respawn, they could just move right on into the pit, get themselves an Aegis, and not have too much trouble with it. But nice swing of momentum there. Dusa working on her Scotty, has both ultimate orbs, so not that far away. Just a point booster stands between Root Gaming's Medusa's power. Jeez, her farm has continued to impress this game, and still #1 on net worth, holding that slot.
I did receive word that it was called Nullfire Blade.
Nullfire Blade.
And apparently it was called Feedback in Dota 1.
So see, there you go. They changed it to Mana Break in 6.83. See, look at that. I pay attention to some
the
details.
same way I sometimes I call it a Sobi Mask, but they don't call it a Sobi Mask
yeah, I call it the Sobi Mask sometimes. Puck. And a lick of trouble here. Will phase shift the entire ultimate from Skywrath. Gets off the Dream Coil. Joy coming in trying to do what he can, but won't be able to save the puck. And none of them will be foolish enough to break the tether. And will just be a quick pick on the Fairy Dragon.
Well, it was a nice quick grab right there for Leviathan. And, you know, Puck can't do a whole lot when they got 3 surrounded right there with a bite at the ready. Now, hey, this is an optimal time. Leviathan can kind of step on back and then move right into the Roche pit. And they'll quickly do work. Now you don't have to worry about Puck and that pesky Dream Coil. Also, Ravage is still going to be on cooldown for another 30 seconds. It's an easy Roche grab right there for Leviathan, and they'll take whatever they can get. Because Lady Medusa on the other side is not going to be waiting a whole lot longer before she gets all that farm together, and Leviathan are going to really be able to stand their ground. Now with Scotty picked up by Medusa, she is going to be so fat. 2.3k health, but you got to put all the mana on top of that. It's going to be hard, man.
Yeah, bringing her down is going to be difficult. I feel like this next Roche is what was a big deal, rather. Now that Ursa picked up the Aegis.
Got the Diffusal Blade. Did we already talk about that?
Yeah, we did, you silly
my Mad Scientist build, I never even noticed it.
Yeah,
I love it.
You were just zoning out while I was talking about it. Okay,
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I feel you. Glad you're excited, though. Up top, Jenkins. He's going to get caught by the
hits hard. I
Scatty.
can't do that.
Jenkins is started. About face, boys. Headed back to safety. He'll be all right. Arrow flying through. Ooh, almost clips one here in the mid lane. Shredder gets initiated on. Now the follow-up from your boy JC. They're just poking at him, trying to bring down that Aegis. Medusa TP's in. Scotty might be enough to lock down the Ursa. Does not have blink, and yeah, that'll be the end of the Aegis.
Oh, hook save? Oh, he's going to block him. He's going to stand right on the corpse. Oh, Yule's is even going to be there.
Beautifully done. Can he still find the hook on Shredder? Nope, Jenkins doesn't even go for it. Wow, great play from the Puck there to isolate Jenkins. So they stopped the Aegis. I feel like getting that Roshan keeps Leviathan in the game. If Root had gotten it, that's where this Dusa is. Killing her once is going to be difficult. Killing her twice, though, eek. That's where they'll run into some trouble.
And Root, they're on hot pursuit here. They were seeing if they could still manage to catch up with Jenkins there. He is able to make it away, and will even pull out the TP for safety measures. But here we go. Root, they smell blood, and now they're going to trot themselves down this mid lane and look to kind of break the base for the first time on their side. They're going to go knocking at the front door.
You are in the front lines here. And Leviathan need to be a little bit careful how they go about this. Ursa's still down for another 25 seconds. He does have a buyback. Does not want to use it, I think, needless to say. Jenkins sitting in the back line, ready for a long-range hook. And
convenient pause at another moment when we're about to break the base so that both teams can kind of hurdle up. You know, it's just like basketball or football. Right before you got to go to a big play.
Huddle.
Timeout, everyone. Let's hurdle up. Come to coach.
All right.
Can you imagine if that was in Dota, like team sports?
It's huddle up.
What did I say?
Hurdle up.
Hurdle your way over and get into the huddle. How about that?
Hurdle up, boys. Like
hurdle up and get into the huddle. So, I mean, could you imagine if that was in Dota? Like they're at TI4, they're in their little soundproof boxes, and they're like, whoosh, blow out the whistle. They turn around to their coach and like, okay, they're about to break the base. What's the game plan?
You know, we gotta get the time like hand signal. Like, coach.
It wouldn't be fun to watch. It's more like
we need a breather.
Spontaneous.
Yeah.
You put more pressure on the captain to be able to make the call.
Yeah, it's like they can't hit the button anymore. They have to call out for a pause.
But now stuff like this, they have time to think about exactly what the breakdown's going to be. It looks like we're going to be going momentarily, but I'm curious what, if I could be a fly on the wall.
You know, I have a feeling both sides are just going to disengage here. And, yep, there you go.
This is just game number 1 of a best-of-3 series. You know, the team that will go down does have another chance to fight back and take it to match point, but being able to start this series off with a win certainly could add a lot of momentum in your favor.
Ancient Apparitions living the thug life here. Look at these
double damage.
Good old Nushi. All right, so Root Gaming, they back up again, and they'll just go right back to farming, maybe split push, pressure these other lanes. There is one outer tower remaining for the Dire, this tier 2 in the bottom, and they will push into it. Shredder, Blink, BKB, ready to rock and roll. TP in from Nushi. And Nushim, he's gone for the Drum of Endurance Maelstrom build following the phase boost, so that's a smoke.
Jenkins tried to blink for and get a hook, but Puck was already gone. But very close. Very close. Grabs like that, could be big difference makers for Leviathan to get a nice start to a team fight. We're having hiccups again. This might be another pause, but yeah. But yeah, man, this is a slow-paced game. I still have to imagine it's favored to Root. They just continue to farm up. Medusa continues to get to a point when you can't really stop her. It's just going to come down to proper execution from the Leviathan squad to try to walk away with this one with a win, I'd have to say.
Is this better or worse than just dropping? It's a good question.
I don't know.
You know, I have to admit, Jenkins has a pretty tricked-out Pudge. He's got some pretty cool items.
I don't think it's as nice as mine. I'm a fan of like the
do you have
Jason mask?
Do you have Dendy hanging off your arse?
No, I don't have the Dendy thing.
Well, then
is that worth a lot of money?
Your pet Pudge sucks. I'm not sure. I reckon it could be the Dendy doll.
Got to have the Dragon Claw hook just because it's the standard with any sort of Pudge afición.
Here, let's see. Dendy doll for on the Steam market. It's really cheap. It is like 30 cents, 50 cents.
All right.
Still cool, man.
Maybe I'll invest in one, but won't be investing in a Dragon Claw hook. Certainly not.
Crazed tassels of Black Death. Oh, we got to resume.
Here we go. Here we go. This is not the big point, not the siege, and that siege ended up going nowhere. But
it's going to come out of this one. They are smoked up, though, moving into the Radiant Jungle now. Can they find a pickoff?
Let's see. They're still trucking as a Union here, and there's smoke, so that there's no vision regardless. Radiant really don't know.
Yeah, but Tide, man, he's closing in on his refresher. He's not that far away, just about one half the Perseverance.
If they get tied here. Oh, he doesn't walk back.
Dire Vision, just taking a look. Moonlight Shadow, this is what Dire are looking at. They finally get the vision. Dragon Knight starts things off, goes right in onto Chicken MC. Now Shredder blinks forward, BKB on, right into the Deuce's face. Stone Gaze comes out, he'll be first to About Face. Joy gets a triple cast onto the Skywrath Mage. Now your boy JC comes in, trying to clean it up. Shibby standing his ground for now, but just getting rocked by the Deuce on the high ground. Now the Ravage comes out, Nushim gets clipped by it. It'll be just Jenkins left behind, and he may live, but not for long. Sumal, nope, he won't be able to finish him off, but Leviathan just get completely poo-pooed on. They were the aggressors there, ends as a 1-for-4.
There was like 3 micro fights happening there, and the focus from Leviathan I don't think was together on that one. You had people tussling with Medusa, but you had Pudge and Mirana both trying to deal with Puck, the elusive Puck. And they were investing so much time in trying to take down Puck. They never even got her, and it left the rest of the Leviathan squad to be stuck with Medusa and Shredder, who's trying to go for a kill. Now they're trying to at least put up a formidable defense. They move forward. They force Tidehunter back here. Shredder back now, trying to get Sumal. Sumal's going to get away, and now Medusa. Trapped, Pincer taken down. Good grab, good defense. Now they get a nice hook back, and they take another. Uh-oh, Leviathan on a strong defensive move. Sumal stuck, able to blink, go the opposite high ground. Will TP on home to
What a slippery bandit in that Fairy Dragon. Leviathan are forced to use a buyback to make that happen, though. Actually, a couple of buybacks. Whoa, the Dragon Knight and the Ursa. So a good defense, though. Worth it, but costly.
Yeah, I mean, the question, you have to buy back there, otherwise you're losing racks. They get the best out of it. Root don't immediately pull back. They still feel confident to kind of take a siege, but they do lose a lot. Actually, Medusa doesn't have a buyback here for about 45 seconds. It looks like because of that recent investment into the Eagle song, she's left herself a bit poor. So
now the
Leviathan could notice. They could see the Eagle song and be like, hey, I doubt she has money. And they move forward here.
It's possible. It's a gamble. The only way to know is to try. Press forward, see what she does. Ravage down for another 45. Refresher still not online yet. Bottom tier 3 tower gets finished off. There's the Radiant Glyph. And Root need to decide how they want to approach this. They've got 18 seconds still till the Deuce is up. Dreamcoil's already been used. In comes your boy JC. Tries to stun out, but Shredder has the BKB on. Moonlight Shadow will be deployed as Leviathan clear out the melee barracks and sound the retreat with Dusa on the horizon.
Well, they move through. They kind of finish a bit of what they started previously, and now the first real significant base damage is going to be on Root. But I don't think they're too worried about that. Medusa can always kind of help push back a bit, and they have some reasonable wave clearing on their team with the Sand King and, of course, the Ignite from Ogre. I don't think it's too shabby. Plus an Anchor Smash, so they might have to get to a point when they might even be down a couple of racks, but if Medusa can just get to that critical mass point and just bring the game back, I don't think it can matter. I mean, they can always go for the Hail Mary Rapier kind of a play on Medusa if they have to, but there we go. Refresher
Double
Orb.
Ravage. Oof, this is really scary here. They know for sure that the Ursa and DK buybacks are on cooldown. Probably assume they don't have too many others, and Root Gaming will just try to go right back at them. The ping pong continues here, sir. Newsham with 3,600 gold. Might be able to grab an item.
If they don't get a lot, it could be bad. Remember, 10 more seconds on that refresher orb before they can get a nice sweet double. This is their chance to really make the most of it. Tier 3 will drop. And Leviathan are very spread right here. Slow siege.
Sure are. And here comes your boy JC. Goes right in onto Newsham. Defensive hook back. Jenkins keeps his friend alive, but the Tier 3 tower's already gone down. Now they move into the barracks. Do so on the front lines. Eager to just do what damage she can and hope that they initiate on her instead of her teammates. Mystic Flare comes out and just does nothing. It tickles her.
The tickle beams.
Yep. BKB picked up by the Mirana. And, ooh, a close call. Now the puck goes in right on Newsham. There's your Ravage. Connects on quite a few. Ravage number 2. Only connects on 2 as BKBs have been used. Your boy JC, the first one to get pinned down. And now they get the kill on Mirana. Now the hook under your war. Medusa gets locked in place. Dismember secures the kill. That's a 1-for-2 trade. Sumal TP's out, and Leviathan make the hold that they needed. They lose the Tier 3, but
Radiant's bottom barracks
no buybacks used.
attack.
Very well done.
Big hold. I thought they were going to get overzealous after the arrow landed, but they somehow found a way to put up a nice, strong defense. Medusa was sieging away, and they had a great game plan, but that arrow, man, that put both teams into a situation like, uh-oh, arrow landed. Do we go for immediate defense? Do we immediately make a jump onto her? And you know what? They come out, they take her down. She does have buyback, so they can at least force that buyback out. But no double Ravage, no single Ravage, no coil.
This will be a difficult defense. Medusa does have a Stone Gaze, though, the big ultimate that can help in the stead of Ravage. Medusa will be forced to buy back. Tier 3 tower already down to about half health. With the buyback, Leviathan will start to retreat.
Big chops here.
And, oh yeah.
Big chops here.
Chop suey, let's see.
Yeah, look at that hook. I think he got sunken with it. It's hard to tell with the picture slideshow of a server.
Yeah.
All right, so they move forward. They get the buyback out, and they're going to try to get a nice, clean getaway before anyone gets caught out. Looks like Sunken got that silence off, but it's got about a second or two left, and Puck might continue to move on forward, but we'll see.
Yep. Well. Yeah. Wow, what a game one here. 41 minutes in with going on pause number 3. This is, well, this is the dream.
I'm going to try to look up the other game. I'm sure they're having equal server issues.
Yeah, the complexity versus Team Wheels. Again, that is being covered by Callcast, I believe. And
here it is, here it is. Let me go ahead and just peek on into this stream, and we can get a quick update for the people here to find out how the other game on the other side's going.
Get a little feeler.
Right now, it looks like Complexity are pushing forward into the wheelbase. They have a kill advantage right now of 26-17.
Still game 1.
Yeah, and it looks like possibly Waga playing a Shadow Fiend. But still game 1 here. And, uh-oh. And Wheel are fighting outside. I don't mean to do like a radio play-by-play, but right now it looks like Complexity are at the upper hand. And Wheel is at the point, actually a similar point when they're kind of putting out one of their last formidable defenses before eventually Complexity could take over the base. So right now, Complexity ahead in their game number 1, also a best-of-3 series. The winner taking on of the winner of this series. Or the loser of the series, sorry.
The loser, yeah. The winner of this is secured in the playoffs. So this is a big in here. This is the one you really want to win. Be done with, rest, happy you got some practice in today, and prepare for the actual playoffs, which do begin tomorrow.
And I know a lot of the some of the top tier teams have dropped out of Starladder, and I know a lot of people's favorite teams are not going to be showing up, but this is a great time for some of the tier 2 teams to really prove themselves, show themselves, and create a real nice storyline for themselves. You know, that much more of a chance. You know, with EG not being there, some of these American teams can feel that bit of extra oomph to kind of take their way all the way to the LAN, which is still a lot of money. Currently 120K and rising, so this could be like a big break for some tier 2 team.
It very well could be. I was just admiring the wonderful sound effects of this pause.
Yeah, I mean, given that there's still a lot of top talent on the other side, I believe the Europe division didn't really lose a lot of theirs.
I mean, while we're waiting here, we can have some fun with the M broadcaster and take a look at. We don't want to look at the grid. We want to look at just America. And let's take a look at this grid here, see what we're working with. So these are the standings as the group stage finished off. E-Hug, as Dakota mentioned, 7-0. SNA 6-1. Then after that is where you see this whole nasty tiebreaker chunk here, the 3 and 4s, as I like to call them. So that's what we're in the process of settling here to figure out which are the third and fourth place teams.
These intense tiebreakers, it's obviously taken a day away from the usual scheduled playoffs, so we're going to have that much more Dota action in the next couple of days.
So that's 3 best-of-3s tomorrow. And
we're
then
busting our butt off.
Yeah, on the final day, I guess is it another 3 BO3s on the final day?
I'm not too sure. I'm going to be out of here. That's on you.
That's on me to figure out. Yeah, I think it's going to be me and Merlini.
Ah, cool.
I think is the plan as of now. So.
All right.
Yep.
Tomorrow I will be joined by Parker.
David Parker.
Doing the American Dota.
David Parker from Australia. Oh, man. Coddle Guy. At this rate, we are going to be here for a very long time.
I really hope not.
Me too. It sucks for everyone, you know? Sucks for the viewers, sucks for us, sucks for the players in particular.
The complexity guys, I just tune back and they cop out early. They go right to a splash screen when there's downtime and then come back.
Well, we're not.
We own up to it.
We're not wimps here.
We'll give you the basic terrible chit chat that you can critique and judge us for.
Keep going. You know, I did the power nap today, and I'm regretting my choices. I wish I just pushed through, because now I'm like still feeling the remnants of the power nap. You know. Sometimes power napping's great.
You had
sometimes,
like an epic Chipotle meal, and you're like, I'm gonna die for a while.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sleep. I need to sleep off this burrito.
I have an epic Chipotle meal, and I go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
Well, I'm saving it for later. You know, it'll catch up with me. Don't worry.
It's worth it though.
Oh, Chipotle, it's the greatest.
Incoming people like, it's not even real Mexican food. American fat slob dance.
Well, it's definitely not real Mexican food, but it's.
You know what? It tastes good.
It's amazingly good.
And you got a little bit of everything in there. You get your rice, you get your beans, some veggies.
Yeah, you know, I like the steak.
A little bit of protein.
You know, what I like about Chipotle is that the people that work there are just so freaking nice. You ask them to do stuff, and they're all smiles and giggles, and they're like, oh, you want a tortilla on the side, sir? I would make my day to get you a tortilla. I'm like, you're goddamn right. That's what's going on. This is serious service.
I'll tell you what, though, from first-hand experience, Chipotle's in NYC, they love to be frugal with that meat. They're just like little bits. I'm like, come on, man. That's not even a full spoon.
You got to talk him into it?
I'm like, this isn't a burrito, it's a buh.
It's just a buh.
And then other places, they're like so happy that someone actually stopped in.
Yeah.
They'll just fill your burrito load with all sorts of goodies and loving.
Yeah.
Magic.
That's what our local Chipotle is nice. They've always been so friendly, so kind. The other day, I was like, oh, the steak, please. She's like, medium rare. Is that okay?
On the Chipotle steak?
Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, yeah, we take our steak medium rare. Is that cool with you? I'm like,
oh, that's how they do it.
Load it up, man. Whatever you do.
You can't well done a steak.
Which I kind of wish that I had just had the balls to say to her, yeah, actually, no, that's not going to fly. I'm going to need some medium well. Can we throw these back in the fryer?
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if that's actually an option. I just felt like they were being nice. You know, it's like one of those things. You be careful what you offer.
Yeah. Well, you got to make sure it's cooked right.
Yeah.
Those are little pieces of meat, though, usually, and they cook pretty damn quick.
Yeah, they're little nibblers.
The nibblers.
You nibble on them, dude.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on, Dota. You're giving yourself a bad rap here.
All right, dude. I don't mean to dig this deep, but what's on your Christmas list? We're getting there, I know.
All right.
You have to step away from the game. It's
Christmas list.
Christmas
it
wishes.
Is.
People, let us know what you want for Christmas. Is there a Red Ryder BB gun?
I wanted the big thing that I wanted to do this season is upgrade my setup. You know, I've got a bunch of friends back home, a bunch of developers, and they're showing off their crazy monitor setups.
All right,
and
enough about your dumb Christmas ideas and thoughts. We got a game underway.
All right, here we go. Sunken, he's on the run. Is it going to be a sunken sandwich? Courier coming in. Needs to be careful. Oh, there's a Crystalist there, too. Your boy JC coming in. He's getting some lags, and Sunken, he's going to get put 6 feet.
I don't think it would have mattered, but you could definitely see the hiccups are still there. But both teams, they're anxious to play. The stop and go is just like they're trying to run a marathon, and every couple minutes, like, just stop for a second, please.
Yeah.
Right when you're trying to get your runners high.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's hard for us to keep the momentum going, but for the players, it's even worse. You know, you have to refresh yourself at where the game was and what the strategy is, and
22-22 though here at this point. You remember Leviathan, the early part of the game, they were up by like what 7-0 at some point. They got a lot of momentum. Mid game came around. Root Gaming started getting their blink daggers. You saw Puck and Tide really begin to open up. Back-to-back 3-man ravages coming out from Chicken MC really set the pace up for them. They managed to get close, but each time Root Gaming tried to go into the base of Leviathan, it seemed a bit a bit brash, a bit uncoordinated, and Leviathan put up a respectable set of defenses. The first time they did have to invest in their buybacks, but you know what? I have to say they're doing pretty good when they have their backs against the wall.
Ooh, Jenkins going for the rune down bottom. Sand King will interrupt it. He grabs the bounty for himself. Stunned, coiled, caught inside of the Yule Scepter. Sentry Ward is down, even though Moonlight Shadow's been deployed. Jenkins in a lot of trouble now as Yawar joins the party. Comes in with that Scotty on, slows him down, and Pudge, he gets finished off.
I say they do good with their backs against the wall, but that might have been a bit too brash. Trying to scout out the rune area right there and see if Roche was up. Well, hey, Roche is up, but unfortunately because of that pickoff, Root Gaming feel the advantage in numbers. Now they're going to move into the Roach Pit and get it done. But they're not going to get it done too easily. They're trying to get harassment and just let Root Gaming know, hey, we're here. You're not going to get an easy Roche. Uh-oh.
And more initiation comes out onto Sunken. Your boy JC starts it off. Medusa's there just to lay into him. Frost arrows are...
Gem. Oh, it's on the deck and quickly picked up right there from Tide.
Oh, man. Big plays coming out. Also, the puck has a Scythe of Vice now, so a Hex Stick is on the field for Root. 5v3, this should be a very easy Roche now. Best Leviathan could hope for is maybe a Snatch if Ursa really wants to go crazy, but even that, a risky play, and I would say not worth it, given that he will undoubtedly die at least the first time, probably the second. Here's the buyback on the Skywrath Mage, though. Leviathan, they know how important this is. They want to contest it.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh, they're going to catch out the side lane right there, but a quick BKB pop from Dragonite, and they're going to pull right back. Uh-oh, they're trying to make him waste his BKB, and there's no fight breaking out. Roche is very low, and Yamar feels pressure to finish it off, but Shredder sneaks in behind his back. He's going to try to get in the last few swipes. He gets it. He grabs the Aegis from behind the back. Yamar's like, oh crap, pops his Stone Gaze and is trying to walk out, but the Yules going to slow the roll. Medusa now in trouble, jumping forward, zoning Ravage, going to keep them back, and they lock down the Dragonite with that one, and Yawar right-clicking it down and home, but the hook back right there. Ravage number 2 seals the deal, taking down the first life of Ursa, and now desperate to walk out for the pit. Jenkins locked in the corner. Now Shredder trying to fight his way out, but can he go on through the Mana Shield? 2 multi going to be there as they build up the Bloodlust. Jenkins trying to go onto the puck. Shredder continues to try to maul Medusa, but now he gets epic Burrow Strike from your boy JC. Sunken, trapped out, gets brought down. The buyback also comes out. Shredder trying to get right back into this one. Now Yawar trapped by his own. Body blocks coming out from Jenkins. Your boy JC lands a nice Burrow Strike, trying to create a bit of space. Gets brought down, and they don't see Medusa on the high ground, and she TPs the hell out of there.
Wow, what a chaotic team fight. It looks like Leviathan coming out way ahead, but they had to burn 2 buybacks to make that happen. One on the DK, one on the Ursa. At the end of it, Root Gaming get the gold advantage in terms of net worth exchange. And what a play from Shredder, though. Finishes off Roshan, gets the Aegis. Without that play right there, no way Leviathan can do that in that fight. Now they need to make something happen. The buyback from Sand King, that turns it into a 4v3 on the field. Leviathan still with the advantage. There is a Radiant Glyph burned right away as Ursa goes into the Tier 3 tower. This is Leviathan's big chance here. What happened to the cheese, by the way? Did somebody eat it? It looks like it. I don't see it in any inventory. Oh, cheese has been used. Now it's a 4v4. No Ravage available on the Tide, but there is a Stone Gaze.
I can't help but feel like, oh. And forward Lincoln's going to be popped. Hook will catch on JC, but he just burrows right into him and allow Medusa to open up with right clicks, and Stone Gaze going to be popped. Shredder's going to get locked down, and Medusa is just going to start tearing through. The Leviathan team takes down 3, going for 4. Shibby, see you later. 4 down. Root Gaming. Doesn't matter if they don't have ultimates now, they got Medusa. That's all they need.
What? Gets slapped down. Leviathan in big trouble. Buyback status on them. Now looking at a negative there, Chief. Going to have 1 available on the Pudge, and that's going to be it. So they've got a good 90 seconds here with no DK, 70 seconds on the Ursa. This could be a pretty devastating push here coming out of Root. Dire side, now they've got a Glyph available, but is it going to be enough, Cuddle Guy? Will it be enough?
Let's see here. They go into high ground. Tier 3 already down. Only buyback is going to be Jenkins on his Pudge, but Skywrath can't do much by himself. They might just have to sack these racks. They are going to make him work for it. The Glyph going to be popped, but and that right-click damage from Medusa starting to just really build up, and you could see how hard it is to bring her down. That butterfly is really putting him some serious work, and I don't see a MKB rather coming up anytime soon. And he gets a hook on Puck, but it's a hook on Puck.
Yeah, not the
Puck
ideal
is hard
choice.
to get.
Yep, no Glyph now. Top lane of Barracks in a lot of trouble. Still 30 seconds with a 5v3 here on the field. Moonlight Shadow comes out. Ravage flies through from Chicken MC. Sets up the kill on Danusham. Ogre gets blown up on the backside, but it just doesn't matter. Barracks go down. Now Sunken. He's going to get picked off, and by the time Ursa comes up, all of his friends going to be dead.
Wow. I think that might be game here. It was a really great lineup, I'd have to say, coming out from Root. The last pick, Medusa, very nice grab. There really was no answer for it, and as long as they can kind of survive the early mid-game, survive the pickoffs that could have been coming their way from Leviathan, they could just take their way into Victoryville on the back of a Medusa, and there really hasn't been much of an answer. But Leviathan, man, they've been playing like champs. We saw that great Shredder Age of Steel from behind the back, and because of all those extra lives, they were able to win that team fight. But I think ultimately, with both teams healthy and ready, with all ults ready to go, it's Root Gaming that have the better lineup, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And at this point, they just got such a lead, about 14,000 gold, 10,000 experience going in their favor. They've got the double Ravage in 90 seconds. Buybacks are way in their favor. Dusa going to have hers up momentarily, with Leviathan in really bad shape on that front. Even Dusa now with 4,500 gold could just sell those power treads, pick up some BOTs, start working towards that very last item, whether it's a crit or an MKB or whatever she wants. Now the Ogre even picking up the Aghanim Scepter and level 16, so prepare for some multicasts as Joik is ready to bring on the pain.
I mean, they tried to nerf down Ogre a bit. His casting range was obviously dropped quite a bit to make him more of a true melee kind of hero, but they haven't really changed much as far as the burst. Yeah, the numbers tweaked down a bit, but it doesn't change the fact that if you get slammed with a 4 times and a 3 times, you're going to be brought down pretty significantly and allow for easy cleanup from anyone else on Root Gaming. So just lots of lockdown that's always there and available. Ogre's still just a great hero.
No argument on that front, my fair friend. Dire side will see a 5-hero smoke from Leviathan. They'll rotate through. They pick up a double damage rune right on the DK. Root Gaming, they're a pack of 5 headed to the bottom. They see no need to muck around any longer. There's one outer tower remaining, and it is in their sights. Leviathan, they'll come around the backside. They're ready to stab him in the back. This will be the team fight.
Yeah, this is clearly what started as the all-or-nothing play.
15 on Ravage.
For Leviathan.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Smoke
attack.
has expired. Dire side, they get a little bit of vision. No, now Moonlight Shadow's been used. Radiant, they have no idea. Arrow flies in.
Quick
now
manta.
they have a clue.
I don't know if the Manta would have helped her dodge or not. It was very close.
Coil on 2. Your boy JC gets hooked back. First to go down. Now Puck perhaps in some trouble. You are in the middle of the party. There's your boy Chicken MC. Ravage number 1 refreshed. Ravage number 2. Some BKBs were used, but Mirana and Ursa not going to survive. Now Shibby in a lot of trouble, and they just have no answer for this Medusa. The Gorgon going so hard right now. Cleans up 4 of them. Skywrath Mage manages to TP out, but GG well played. Not a moment too soon as Leviathan go down in the first game of this best-of-3 series.
Very nicely played. Unfortunately, we had a lot of server hiccups, which could definitely add a bit here and there. I'm sure maybe bottom lane Leviathan would have liked to have gotten a lot more on that big push when we had that server hiccup, but not going to be fortunate this time. Hopefully things get more resolved for the rest of the series, but for game number 1, really impressive stuff. Root Gaming throw together a nice, respected draft. Even with their hodgepodge of a roster, they make it work, and, well, that's what counts. Leviathan try to do their cheeky kind of antics, taking advantage of the Pudge early. Ursa, you know, I don't know if it would have been the best for this lineup, but they tried their best, and they had some good plays, good effort. They're going to look to bounce back here as we get into game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So, short break, folks, then stick with us because more Dota 2 action coming your way. We've got a whole nother best-of-3 coming up after this one concludes. I'm Zyori, that's Coddle Guy. Stick around because we're coming right back.